Hi, I am Nino Gonzalez and welcome to another episode of Making Sense. Well, we're going to talk today with Scott Mann, who is an instructor here at El Paso Community College, and we're going to get a little bit of an idea on how to save parents some money towards college tuition while their kids are going to high school. So Scott, thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
And being on the show. And why don't you tell me, first of all, a little bit about yourself and your involvement with these programs?
Sure. Well, I'm an assistant professor of criminal justice at El Paso Community College, and just this year in September I was given the responsibilities to be the program coordinator for the criminal justice discipline at that campus. And part of those responsibilities is to oversee and supervise the dual credit programs that are being offered by both the El Paso Independent School District and the Socorro Independent School District, as well as the Clinton Independent School Districts. And so it's been a very interesting experience. I've been learning a lot about it. I really didn't know very much about the dual credit programs of the public schools that we have here in El Paso until I took over as the coordinator and had to start interacting with the high school teachers that do the dual credit.
And I know the college is trying to make a big push towards these programs.
Yes.
And get students, get them some college credits early on, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So tell me, let's focus on one program. What is dual credit and how does that save parents money on college tuition?
Well, first let's look at the college tuition for the El Paso area.
Okay.
If a student goes to UTEP full-time, the average is about, for full-time classes and books, is about $3,700 a semester.
Okay.
Of course, the smart thing to do is to go to El Paso Community College first and get their first 2 years out of the way, because tuition is about 50% of that. About $1,700 for tuition and books for each semester at EPCC.
That's for full-time?
For full-time. And then so after they complete their associate's degree, they can move on to UTEP and complete their years 3 and 4 to get their bachelor's degree. It's cost savings. But El Paso Community College has an articulation agreements with the local high schools here in El Paso, the school districts, so that way the schools can start offering dual credit courses, and for the students they can get college credits and it doesn't cost them a dime.
It doesn't cost them, so they're saving some money there.
Absolutely.
So what type of courses fall under this dual credit umbrella?
Under the dual credit umbrella, the courses are you have two types of courses, okay? You have the academic courses that are geared towards baccalaureate. Those courses still have to be taken at El Paso Community College if they're pursuing an Associates of Arts degree, with the intention of transferring those courses over to a four-year university.
Okay.
Community College also offers Associates of Applied Science degrees, where those college courses are intended for a 2-year degree, and some of the courses may not be transferable to a 4-year institution because they're what's called Wickham courses, right? These are technical degrees that are designed that once they receive their associate's degree, it's like a terminal degree.
Right.
They can go out into the workforce in taking on a technical job.
Right, so it gives them some job and vocational and career skills, correct?
Correct, right.
Okay.
And so you have two types of dual credit. You have the transfer course credits, and you have the Wickham courses that are geared towards the technical degree.
Right.
So I can tell you from experiences that I'm seeing with the dual credit programs with the criminal justice discipline.
Okay.
For example, there are some high schools where the teachers are teaching dual credit courses, which are transfer courses. Those are the CRIJ courses, right? Those courses are transferable to El Paso Community College, UTEP, NMSU, UT Austin. They're transfer courses, so they're already recognized by the College Board to be transferable to a four-year institution.
And they take these credits at their high school?
Yes, they can take these. They can take dual credit their sophomore, junior, senior year in high school. But because those are transfer courses, they have to pass the TAX or the AccuPlacer exams. They have to be registered as a student at El Paso Community College. They're not getting credit for those courses through UTEP. They're getting credit for those courses through El Paso Community College.
But then since they're getting credit through the college, then they transfer.
They can transfer to UTEP if that's where the student wants to go after they finish high school. Or they can continue on at El Paso Community College and get their associate's degree and then transfer them over to a four-year institution.
So theoretically, how many hours can a student do at the high school level dual credit?
Dual credit, they can get at the most 36 hours.
Wow, that's quite a bit of hours. That's almost
that's
a
more
full
than a
year.
year,
Yeah,
right?
that's more than a year of college. And it's all free.
It's all free. They don't have to pay for tuition or books.
Wow. And let's talk about, does every high school offer dual credit? And since they're taking it at their high school, does the faculty there need to have special requirements?
Well, that's a good question. Not every high school has dual credit. The high schools have to go into an articulation agreement with El Paso Community College to determine what courses they want to offer in dual credit, whether it be transfer courses or the technical courses. Whoever's teaching dual credit at the high school level, those high school teachers, they have to be credentialed as faculty at El Paso Community College. So even though the high school may want them to do it, they have to apply as an adjunct instructor at El Paso Community College and go through the vetting process to get credentialed to be able to teach those courses. And so those are the people that I have to supervise in the criminal justice discipline. So just like any part-time instructor, I have to go to their classes, I have to evaluate them, just like any part-time instructor that's teaching on campus.
So they have to meet the requirements of a college instructor.
If the teacher is teaching the dual credit themselves.
Right. And how about these vocational courses?
On the vocational courses, the same vetting process applies. But in the technical courses, the teacher may be teaching a classroom that has just high school directed students and dual credit combined. But so they have an articulation agreement with the college. So a particular course that they're offering dual credit, like a Homeland Security class,
Right.
The high school has a high school equivalent course that has the same objectives as the college course.
Okay.
So some of the students in that classroom may not be getting college credit, but they're learning the same thing, so they're getting what's called articulated credit. So they may not be earning a college transcript right then,
Right.
but if they decide they want to go to El Paso Community College after they finish high school, through those articulation agreements, they can apply for college credit for having taken that course in the high school.
And so if a student is enrolled in a dual credit class, and we talked about the credentials for the faculty, do they have to use the same books that are being used at the college? Who dictates that?
The discipline, every discipline at the college has a discipline committee.
Right.
And that discipline committee decides what books are going to be offered for which courses within that discipline. The schools have to honor that course listing, those books.
Right.
But they do not have to update those books at the same pace that the college does. They have a 4 or 5 year cycle. So if we change a book today and they purchased the book 2 years ago, they still have the ability to use that book a couple more years before they move to a new book that we may have approved.
And whose responsibility is to purchase these textbooks? Is it the
high school?
The
school
district?
district. The
Right.
school districts. Now the high schools have their own budgets, and so a lot of them may purchase those books through their own grants.
And why is it that not every high school offers dual credit? What are some of the roadblocks that are keeping them from offering this?
They may not have a teacher in that particular discipline that has a master's degree.
Right.
So in order for a high school teacher to teach a dual credit course, they have to have either a master's degree in the discipline that they're teaching or a master's degree with 18 hours in the discipline that they're teaching, just like a college instructor is required to do. They fall under the same rules of SACS, like El Paso Community College
And
does.
what is SACS?
That's our accrediting body.
Okay.
And the accreditation Because look at it this way, when one of the high school teachers is teaching a dual credit class at the high school, it is no different than if that class was being taught on campus as well. The academic rigor and the experience needs to be a college experience on the high school campus. And so they have to meet the same accreditation standards, just like if it had been taught here on campus, or there's also another option. Sometimes a high school may not have a teacher that has a master's degree to teach it, but that high school can still offer the course dual credit because the course is being taught by an instructor at El Paso Community College, the college portion of it. So you have a teacher mentor in the classroom that's providing instruction on the articulated portion of the course. And then you have a college faculty member that's also teaching the class, and it could be through online. So they may be going to the classroom with their home teacher, and they're taking the same course, but they're also doing online work for the college professor.
So I guess this is important for parents to understand, especially as their children get ready to go into high school, and to see if those options are available at that high school, correct?
Absolutely.
And how does one find out?
They can go to the websites. Both the Socorro Independent School District and the El Paso Independent School District have a dual credit AP website that explains all of the criteria and what the students can do in order to register for those courses. But it's very difficult for a student to take a dual credit class unless they're starting to get college prepared for it.
Right.
And so, like in the Socorro Independent School District, they have courses which are called pre-AP courses.
And what does AP stand for?
That's for advanced placement, right?
Okay.
And that's the other portion of the college stuff that we'll talk about in a minute, right?
Okay, yes.
So they start learning how to deal with college academic rigor. The El Paso Independent School District offers those pre-AP courses in 9th grade if they want to start taking advanced courses later. So the dual credit, the students have a choice if they want to do dual credit transfer while they're there on campus at the school. Sometimes last semester, Options High School bused their students to the Valle Verde campus, and I was teaching them a Homeland Security class.
Oh, right at the college.
Yeah, so they shipped them over, they took the class, and then they took them back to the high school afterwards. And their homeschool teacher was sitting in the classroom while I was covering my materials, right? So what I was going to say, continuing on with the dual credit, is that the high schools, a lot of the high schools in the Socorro Independent School District, they have dual credit courses at many of the high schools, but all of the school districts also have the early colleges, right? The El Paso Independent School District may not have as many dual credit courses being offered at their independent high schools because they have a high school called CCTE, the Career Center Technical and Education.
Correct.
And so they ship a lot of the students that are taking CTE dual credit courses. They bus them over to that high school to take those classes.
Oh, wow. And those are those courses that are basically will give you the career skills that you need to go out and get a job right away, correct?
Absolutely. They can earn an associate's degree in applied science.
And what are some of those courses? Can you give us some examples?
Sure. CTE programs, there's a total of 16 different areas that Texas is allowing the high schools to provide CTE dual credit courses. And that can be agriculture, public safety, education, accounting, human resources, tourism. Many different types of technical degrees can fall within the aspects of those 16 areas.
Wow, interesting. So all these options are available. It seems like a lot of information, and especially, you know, high schoolers, they're going into high school and they get bombarded with all this information, and along with the parents, and it's important for the parents to be informed to make appropriate choices that could affect cost of college or what is it that their kids are going to do, correct?
That's right. And so I had mentioned earlier that when they take transfer courses that are transferable to a four-year university in a dual credit course, they don't have to take those placement exams to go into the technical education, the Wickham courses, not the transfer courses, right? They do not require those pre-course requisites. They only need approval from the school.
Oh, wow.
And so that's why, like I said, some of the students may not even be registered at El Paso Community College
don't
as
have
a
to.
student. They might be just taking the class as an articulated student with the intention of applying for those credits after they graduate high school.
Wow, so many
Right?
choices.
There's
and-
a lot of different choices that they have, but the key is that they have to take advantage of it.
Right. So you mentioned a little bit, and let's just briefly cover this, early college high school. So what is that?
Certain students can be selected they start in the 8th grade, and these are students that generally were taking these pre-AP courses, gifted and talented students, right? And they had the ability to score on the AccuPlacer or the TAX to be able to test in to start taking college courses. And so the early colleges are designed in all the school districts, El Paso Independent and Socorro Independent School District, to place them at a specialized school where they are receiving dual credit throughout the entire time that they're in school. And by the time they graduate the early college high school, they actually graduate with an associate's degree.
As a matter of fact, they graduate with their college degree first before their high school degree.
Exactly. Many of them complete their associate's degree by the end of their junior year of high school, and they bus them to UTEP their senior year to be taking dual credit classes at UTEP.
Wow.
And so they finish the early high school, a lot of them already preparing to enter into their senior year of college.
Correct. And for example, at our Valle Verde campus, we have some of those early college high school students in our classrooms.
Yes, yes. There's an early college high school at the Valle Verde campus, and those students will trek back and forth between the high school
Correct.
area and just go to the regular college classes.
And
it's very common to see them in
It's
there.
very important for parents to understand this, because it will affect their children's education, but also we need to be aware of the options that are available, because now, especially like with Isleta and EPISD, with open enrollment, where you don't have to go to the school that you live in. So as long as that school has availability, you can move to that school if the school that you live in doesn't offer those choices.
Right. And the Socorro Independent School District has specialized technical training at different high schools. So let's say one of the kids that goes to El Dorado in the Socorro School District wants to study nursing. The school district will bus that student to the Socorro High School to take those specific courses towards the nursing program. And then they'll bus them back to El Dorado. So you have a lot of kids that are moving around based on special technical. And if they want to take nursing when they go to Socorro High School, if they qualify for the dual credit, if they're capable of doing the dual credit, they'll participate in dual credit training.
Well, I know the focus on higher education, especially at the community college level, is to move these students into getting a college education quicker. But another advantage is that it's not costing the parents any money, and the students are getting college credit, and they're getting that college experience to start at a university.
Absolutely. Well, students that take dual credit courses, even if they just get 12, 15 hours of dual credit by the time they graduate high school, the probability of them continuing college and successfully completing college prior to entering to the workforce increases substantially. So we're increasing the chances of the kids in our community to go to college and get an education by offering them these opportunities.
Well, we'll come back and discuss the other portion, which is advanced placement courses at the high schools, when we come back on the second half of Making Sense. Thank you. Welcome to the second half of Making Sense, and we were discussing with Scott Mann about saving money for college with all these options that are available at our local high schools. Now, let's talk about the other half, which is AP, which is advanced placement.
Correct.
Does every high school offer advanced placement?
As far as I know, yes, they do.
Okay, and what is advanced placement?
Okay, advanced placement is very different than dual credit. Advanced placement is where the student is taking a class with a teacher that mirrors the academic rigor of a college level course.
Okay.
Okay. The students, when they take these advanced placement courses, once they complete the course, they can try to challenge the college. They can take a college exam where they're challenging the college to offer them credit because they have the knowledge of what a student would have after taking that college level class.
Okay, and when do these AP classes start at the high school level?
At the high school level, they're offered during their, it's called like pre-AP.
Right.
It's offered at the 9th grade. And so students can take AP courses, advanced placement courses, their sophomore, their junior, and their senior year.
Okay. And there's no cost to the parents?
It doesn't cost anything. So the student is like taking a college class, but it is not a dual credit class.
Right.
But it's free. The books are paid for by the district. The course has to be credentialed by the College Board. Same thing. The only thing is that the teacher doesn't have to have a master's degree. Okay. But they have to be gifted and talent certified, and they have to take advanced. They have to take AP certification courses.
So what courses, can you give us some example that fall under the AP umbrella?
Those courses are academic courses. So you would have courses like education, mathematics, government, English,
history,
and history. Right. Those are the typical type of general electives.
Your core
Courses that you would have in a degree program.
Okay. And so if a student takes advanced placement, they have to challenge, right?
They have to take a challenge exam once they're ready to do so.
And the exam, is that free or is there a fee?
Yeah, there's a fee for that. Now, depending on the students, I believe the school districts have supplemental funds. So some students may not have to pay the fee. The school district might do it for them,
right,
or they'll pay a portion of it.
And are AP credits then accepted by any university?
Yes, they are. Well, no, they're not accepted by any university. They take a chance on whether a university is going to accept those courses or not. But generally, right, a public university or college, when a student takes a certified AP course at a high school, and when they take the challenge exam, they're clepping the exam, right?
Right.
If they score a 3 or better out of a rate of 5, right? So if they score at least a 3 out of 5 on that exam, it's pretty much given that the college that they're applying for is going to give them credit for that course.
And how many credits can a student get under AP?
The amount of credits that they can get under AP, I don't believe has any form of limitation. I think that the students can, the school districts will have their own policies on
right,
how many AP courses they're allowed to take per semester. And I think that's just different from district to district.
Right.
They would have to contact the counselor at their school to find out what the policies are for that district.
Okay. Well, so many options out there available to save parents money, and we haven't even touched on the magnet schools. You know, that's a whole different
right,
other subject, but there are so many options available now at the high school level that a parent really needs to be informed along with a student. And sometimes I feel that we have to make these decisions a little bit too soon, and sometimes the student doesn't know what they want to go into.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. If I know that the Socorro Independent School District actually starts offering pre-AP courses in 7th grade.
Wow.
And all the schools have them. And so they have their choice of taking up to 3 AP classes in 7th and 8th grade in math, English, and reading. And so if the student wants to try it, they start giving them that level of rigor. It's pressure, but they're learning how to work through the pressure in order to prepare them for that college environment. And so anybody out there that has a child in elementary school, and their child enjoys learning and they want to take the challenge, they don't have to take all 3 classes. They can take 1 or 2 in 7th grade and see how it feels, but they can start getting that experience, so that way by the time they get to 9th grade and they take the 9th grade pre-AP, they're ready to go full-blown in their sophomore, junior, and senior year and try to get as many college credits as they possibly can before they graduate high school.
Well, now let's talk about another thing that we offer here at the college. We offer the honors program.
Yes.
And the honors program, first of all, I'm the coordinator for the honors program here at the district, and it allows students that have a 3.25 or above GPA to do honor research projects with their instructors. And they get awarded honors credit. They're taking the same course, they just have to do more than the stated objectives of the course, usually research oriented, and maybe do a presentation for their class, and they get awarded honors credit, and it shows up on their transcript, which then helps them if they want to transfer to a university with scholarship money, hopefully.
Absolutely.
That's the whole goal. But you, along with one of the what was it, a teachership or a leadership academy?
In the Leadership Academy?
In the Leadership Academy, you all developed a project, and I said, well, let's go ahead and try it out, and it's been working, which is the Enhanced Honors Program.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. When a student, there's an honors student at EPCC wants to get some honors credit in a classroom, the student has an option of requesting the facilitator of that course to take an enhanced honors project instead of honors project. Now, both of them, they receive the exact same honors credit, but in the enhanced honors, what they have to do is they have to develop an academic research paper on a topic that is selected by the instructor. There's minimum requirements for the research paper, such as the length and how much research has to be put into it.
Correct.
There's a due date for that paper, because once the student finishes editing the paper and it's accepted by the instructor, that paper is submitted to a selection committee, a committee that looks over all of the papers, which, by the way, you chair, right?
Okay.
And so the committee consists of faculty members throughout the college, and every semester those faculty members change. And what they do is they review those papers to make sure that they're formatted properly, the consistency, etc. Once the paper has been accepted by the committee, that student and their instructor is scheduled to give a 10-minute defense of that paper before the same committee.
Wow.
Right? And so what happens is that there's 2 benefits to a student engaging in the enhanced honors. They get a lot of one-on-one mentoring between them and the faculty. And so statistics have shown that students, especially in the freshman and sophomore years in college, the more engagement that they have with faculty, there's a higher probability that they're going to be successful in college. And so it's providing that mentorship, that one-on-one mentorship, that bonding.
But there's also another benefit. Their papers get published, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So when they present their papers before that committee, they're defending it, right? And so they're getting the experience of what it's like to conduct research and then to defend that research in front of a committee. And once they do that, when the committee approves that defense of paper, that paper is published in the EPCC honors webpage. And so the student, in turn, when they finish community college and want to move on to a 4-year institution, they can put that on their resume, that they actually published a paper that was technically peer-reviewed, right?
And also the opportunities for scholarships
Absolutely.
might open up. Well, Scott, you provided us with so much information and hopefully money-saving opportunities for parents and how we all need to be informed about all these options that are available out there. I hope I have you again here for another show. Thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule, and we'll see you next time on another episode of Making Sense. Goodbye.